Hey, it's mid-January. The New Year energy is officially dead at this point. The blue sky planning phase of December is over. And the gray sky reality of execution is right here, right now. You see, the gym is emptying out. The resolutions are being negotiated. And in boardrooms across the country, Q1 targets are already slipping. If you're already behind on your numbers, it's not because your team is lazy. It's not because you lack the motivation. It's because your goal architecture is fragile at best. I'm Devon Morris, a scholar practitioner with over 2 decades of in the trenches building high performance team experience and another 5 years of being in the lab proving exactly why the traditional methods that I was taught are actually a systemic liability. See, I don't guess based on that gut feel, based on vibes. I architect based on the evidence. Today, we are performing a clinical autopsy on why 80% of Q1 goals will be dead by the end of this week. I'm going to show you the math of the failure. I'm going to keep it simple for you, right? We're not going to no deep numbers. And I'm going to show you how to architect a commitment that doesn't break the moment the market actually shifts. If you want to keep hoping for a win, this isn't for you. Keep it moving. If you want to architect a victory, have that staying power, spend some time with me. Let's take a look at the numbers. See, most leaders set goals based on that gut feel. You know what I'm talking about? They pick a number from the sky, because that's where it comes from, right? They slap it on a slide, right? And then they call this a strategy. Man, that's the biggest math error that you could ever do to yourself and your entire team. See, in physics, there's a concept called entropy. It means that a system, right, naturally moves toward disorder, disorganized, right? Your Q1 goal is low entropy state. Your daily operations are a high entropy mess. See, my research shows that the average team loses over 40% of its productive capacity to systemic drag. Think about this formula here. Output equals intent minus friction, multiplied by architecture. See, the drag is the invisible tax you pay on every decision you make. It's the noise. It's the meetings, those useless meetings at that. It's the context switching and the urgent fires that have nothing to do with the goal. See, when you set a goal without removing the drag, you are asking your team to drive at 100 miles an hour with the emergency brake on. See, by the end of week 2, the drag wins. The team burns out. The focus shifts from survival. Instead, it don't even get anywhere near growth, right? People are just stuck and they're burnt out. See, the goal becomes a reminder of failure instead of a target. You don't have a performance problem, you have a math problem, y'all. Let's talk about goal commitment versus goal setting, right? Goal commitment is a cornerstone of goal setting. Amateurs set goals, architect commitments, right? A set goal is a destination. A commitment is a redundancy system. See, in my work, my research, the work that I do, I've identified the commitment gap. It's the distance between what you say you will do and what your system allows you to do. Think about one of your current goals. If hitting that target requires your team to work 110% of their capacity, you haven't built a commitment, you built a suicide mission or what I would call a death march as well, right? True goal commitment is built based on evidence. It's knowing exactly which systemic levers to pull when the pressure turns up. If your team abandons the plan the moment things get a little tough, get a little hard, they get a little tested, it's because they don't trust the architecture, man. And why should they? You built it from this blue sky dream that you made up, picking numbers out the sky. But we actually live within the storm. Sometimes seeing that eye with the calm, and other times just being in the midst of that storm. See, we need to redefine resilience. Most of what you hear about resilience is fluff. You know, that self-care stuff, those meditation apps that you like to download, right? I call all that stuff garbage. See, resilience is a structural feature. In engineering, if a bridge requires cars to drive perfectly, or there be the perfect amount of cars to stay standing, it's a pretty bad bridge, man. Systemic resilience means your business can take a hit and keep moving. It means redundancy, y'all. See, here's a diagnostic question that you need to ask right now. If your top performer walks out the door today, does your Q1 goal die with them? If the answer is yes, you don't have a team, you have a dependency. See, when I audit a failing Q1 plan, I usually find single points of failure disguised as star employees. If you rely on a hero, your goal is mathematically fragile at best. See, this brings us to adaptive performance. Most plans are rigid. And rigid things, they tend to break. See, in 2026, speed is not the advantage. Pivot speed is the advantage. See, adaptive performance is the ability of your system to reorganize itself in real time. It's the resilient system in action. If a client leaves, does the system recalibrate? That's the question. If your lead dev gets sick, does your velocity halt? If the answer is no, you don't have a strategy, you have a house of cards. And I got a couple rocks to throw at it. All right, so anyway, we build systems that are anti-fragile. That's what I want you to think about. Ones that don't just survive chaos, but actually use chaos to get faster and to thrive in. That's the key. Now, I want to address the leaders who think that coaching is the simple answer. You think if you fix your people, the goals will take care of themselves. I love coaching, but I need you to stop for a second. Coaching an individual inside of a broken system is like polishing silverware on a sinking ship. It looks nice, but it's a waste of decision capital. Replace the individual with a team. If it's in a broken system, it's the same problem. See, at Atypical, we practice systemic coaching. We don't just coach the person, not just the team. We coach the entire environment. Okay? We look at feedback loops, which I think are extremely important. We look for constraints. We look for how the information flows and where the information flows, and at the information flow itself, plus all its interconnected pieces. If you have a performance issue, yo, look at the architecture first. 9 out of 10 times, your problem employee is just a person trying to survive in a high entropy system. Stop fixing the people, start architecting impact. See, In Q1, when you start your very first sprints, I know some of them have already begun. You can keep running the same broken plays that you did from last year. And I just saw a bunch of football games where they did that. And guess what? They're getting the same results, right? The hope of that new year energy is not going to carry you too far. It's just not. Or you can actually take the leader's oath that we talk about here. And you can stop leading by accident and start architecting by design. Next week, I'm performing a full autopsy. We're going to bring learning agility into the equation. And I'm going to show you why experience is becoming a liability in this new economy, this disruptive environment that we are truly in. If you are tired of the vibes, the gut feel, and you're ready to lead with evidence, join the Atypical Tribe and subscribe. Take that leader's oath. Stop leading by accident. I will see you really soon.